This is our 5th continent that we've been in together this year, doing talks. So we're going to go to Antarctica later in the year, aren't we? Hopefully. Kind of also very jealous of your slide deck as well. Okay. So I am going to talk to you about AI and marketing for agencies. So quick show of hands, who has used ChatGPT or Claude in the last week or so to create something for their agency? Yeah. And keep your hands up if you were genuinely impressed with what it came out with first time. Yeah, right. We've had ChatGPT, or ChatEG, as Brendan calls it, for nearly 2 years, and it's still not producing the stuff that's right first time round. So what we're going to talk about today, I think I did an intro earlier, but my name's Will. I run Waye, and we work exclusively with e-com agencies like yourselves. So I spend every day inside your world helping people like you figure out exactly how to get marketing done when you're busy doing client work. So today I'm going to walk you through some of the fundamentals in marketing for agencies and how to use AI in those. The AI content problems, what we're going to discuss first, and why everything sounds the same. Then we are going to walk through a framework called AI in the middle. And then finally, we're going to look at finding and using your voice so you don't sound like everybody else on LinkedIn. So about 2 years ago, the cost of producing content basically dropped to zero. Anybody with a laptop and a ChatGPT subscription could pump out 5 blog posts by lunchtime. And that's exactly what everybody did. Your competitors are publishing more than ever, and most of it sounds the same. The audiences are starting to tune it out. So the stats on the screen, they tell a story. So over half of long-form content on LinkedIn now show signs of AI usage. And when people perceive content as AI generated, even if it's not, they just perceive it, trust drops roughly by 50%. And purchase considerations fall by 14%. And people feel it. Who likes being on LinkedIn? Yeah, nobody, right? It's awful. They scroll past and they start unsubscribing from the emails. So the question becomes, in a world where everyone can produce more content, what actually makes the difference? What makes somebody stop and pay attention to your agency instead of scrolling past? And the answer is trust. And what builds trust? So the old way used to be, whoever built the most won the most. The new game now is actually whoever earns the trust. So we need to be the name they already know. 95% of your potential buyers are not buying right now. Only 5% are actively buying in any given quarter. And companies change their agencies and software vendors kind of roughly every 5 years. So when someone is ready, in 6 months, 2 years, or whenever, they choose the agency that they already remember, not the one that happens to run ads that week on LinkedIn or Meta, the one that's been showing up consistently and the one they already feel like they know. That means your marketing now isn't about converting today's buyer. It's about building memory in that 95%, so you're the obvious choice when they are ready. And memory is built by trust. And trust is built by 3 things. Number 1, consistency. You've got to show up regularly enough that people remember you exist. So not once a quarter, not whenever someone has time on a commute. It has to be every week, it has to be every kind of 2 weeks, fortnight at minimum. Number 2, you have to have a point of view. Anyone can tell you what headless commerce is. You can go on ChatGPT and ask it a bunch of questions. The question that's really interesting is, what do you actually think about it? And so what would you tell a client over a pint that you wouldn't put in a prospecting deck? And finally, proof. So you've done the thing, not just read about it. You need to prove that you've migrated those 50 stores. You've built the email flows. You've seen what happens when a brand scales too fast and they don't have the stock to support it. That experience is content. And if you're not extracting it, then you can't do the marketing. So AI can help with consistency. It can make showing up sustainable instead of exhausting, but it cannot generate a point of view or proof. Those come from your team. Those come from humans. And that's exactly why they're valuable, because they can't be copied. We talk about Brendan's thing there. The IP is what makes you guys different. So AI in the middle. Cautionary tale here. I did this slide deck in Austin, Texas, and I used AI to generate the slide deck, and it called it human in the middle, which was completely wrong. So there you go, cautionary tale. AI in the middle. We want to build an AI sandwich, so human, AI, human. So layer one is the raw material. It's your opinions, your rants, your observations, your weird analogies, like the stuff that comes out when you're on a call with your team, when you've just come off a call with a founder who's just a bit of a nutcase. That's raw, it's unfiltered, and it's a reaction. That's the good content. Then layer two is the AI. This is the engine. So you take that messy human elements and you turn that into expanded reformats, repurposes. It takes one good idea and turns it into a blog post, 3 LinkedIns, an email, a carousel. Like AI is really fast and tireless, and it's how you get consistency without burning out. And then the last bit is the human element. So this again, we need to be proofing everything before we publish it. Like, again, cautionary tale, the amount of LinkedIn posts that I've automated, and it's come out and it said at the beginning, here's your LinkedIn post, and then generates a post. It's really embarrassing. So don't do that. Human, you've got to read it. And again, like, keep going back. It's I call this like the pub test. Like, would you actually say this out loud in a pub? If the answer's no, you've got to fix it or you've got to kill it. Or you add back in the specific details and you cut the generics. So human, AI, human, that's a sandwich. I'm going to give you a real example of this in action. So we work with a small consultancy in the UK, small team, but they work with really big clients. Every 2 weeks, we interview their senior leadership team for 20 minutes. And that's it, that's their capacity. That's all they can afford to give, 20 minutes every 2 weeks. And we take those conversations and we run them through an AI system and produce articles that are aligned to their content pillars and their service areas. This produces a newsletter that goes out every Tuesday and every Thursday. Over time, it's really built an authority in what they're doing, and they get about 12,000 views a month on their newsletter. And this is where it gets interesting, because they have built up this massive audience that really love what they're doing, and they're generating content at like publication level without having the publication level staff. So once a month we look at who's been engaging with the most specific content. Someone's been reading about ERP migration. We know that they're probably interested in it. So then we use AI to surface those engagement patterns, and we write tailored emails to sell in an audit or a workshop. And so then when they're ready for a new retainer, they don't panic about pipelines. They don't start putting more budget into LinkedIn ads. They just go, okay, well, we need a new one. Let's have a look. Who's engaging? Which brands do we want to work with? Do an outreach. And that's really important there for those guys. So they have a really predictable pipeline. Their founder, he won't mind me telling you this, but the founder actually, one of the top performing articles was he'd just come from a sales call, a sales meeting, and he was driving back and he jumped on and sent me a voice note, and it started with, I've just met Janet. She's a founder of this fashion brand, and she's an absolute fucking donut. And basically goes on to complain that she set these unrealistic revenue targets and hadn't thought about like merchandising, stock levels, warehousing, like none of the operational stuff that actually make those numbers possible. And we turned that voice note into an article. We use this framework. And yeah, published this just before the end of the year. People came back, and it wasn't like just like a great article. People were saying, we forwarded this to the CEO, like I sent this to the founder, like they finally get it now. This is when it becomes really, really valuable, because those people are now going to go, okay, well, I get a budget to now do an ERP migration. Who are they going to go to? They're not even going to search anymore. They're going to go straight to the people that helped them. And it's actually something that we use now as like a metric, is how do we get ammunition into like own internal conversations. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, so one voice note, one rant. That was layer one, and then we used AI to generate the content. Let's do the next slide. So, and that's all good, but everybody sounds the same on LinkedIn, right? So we need to find our voice. I'm going to give you an exercise in a second, or 2 exercises. One's called the celebrity cocktail, and one's called the transcript analyst. So most agencies can't really articulate their tone of voice. Like, you probably have a 40-page doc somewhere that is like brand guidelines, but nobody really reads it. And if somebody writes something for your agency, most founders are going to go, it doesn't sound like us, but they can't really explain why. And that's a massive problem, because if you can't describe your voice, you can't then brief AI. And if you can't brief AI, you just get a generic output every single time. The fix is to stop writing those 40-page brand guidelines. Nobody reads them. And instead, we're going to do these 2 things. So the celebrity cocktail and the transcript analyst. And I'll give you these via QR code, but if you don't want to scan it, I'll send you them via email later. So the first one, the celebrity cocktail. Pick 2 or 3 public figures whose communication style overlaps with yours. So you're not copying the content, it's the communication style only. So at Waye, our communication style is Rory Sutherland meets Ricky Gervais. And if you've been on my LinkedIn, you'll see kind of that. It's unapologetic, it's rude and sarcastic, it's great. But I think it's the favorite LinkedIn post of all time is on there. So, yeah, straight to the point, analogies kind of from everyday life. And this is why it's powerful with AI. So when you prompt Claude and say, write a tone that combines Rory Sutherland's with Ricky Gervais's directness and irreverence, it instantly understands what you mean. And the output is night and day compared to like professional but approachable, which is what most people describe themselves as. Every agency is described as professional but approachable, right? And so you get something that's very, very specific. Scan that prompt template. It'll ask you to name your cocktail, describe what aspects of the person's style you're borrowing, tell AI about your agency and your audience, and crucially, what you definitely don't want to sound like as well. Knowing what to avoid is often more useful than knowing what to aim for. And the output for the full tone of voice profile, you can paste into every AI session from now on. So that's your first take-home exercise. Pick 2 or 3 people, comedians, journalists. Doesn't have to be people in e-com, but write the formula. We sound like A meets B, and that's your brief shorthand. Analyze this transcript. This is the second technique we use. So instead of describing a voice by an analogy, you're going to let AI kind of analyze your existing content and describe your voice back to you. So step 1 is gather 3 to 5 pieces that you're genuinely proud of, or even better, transcripts of you speaking naturally. We did this with Tiara off a workshop that she did in Las Vegas, and basically took that entire transcript and ran it through this prompt, and it generates stuff that sounds exactly like her, even with like the Floridian accent. Yeah, so like voice notes, interviews with your team, like the way you talk, not just, ideally not performing, is the most authentic version of your voice. Step 2, paste them into Claude and ask them to analyze your style. Like the prompt is, again, on the QR, it'll give you 12 specific dimensions, things like sentence structures, vocabulary, how you open and close pieces, and what kind of analogies you use, your humor, your style, how opinionated you are, recurring themes, etc. What comes back is like genuinely remarkable. It'll tell you things like you tend to open with concrete examples before stating the principle, or you use cooking and sport analogies, you avoid corporate language, hopefully never use the EM dash. But things you'd never articulate about yourself, but still are absolutely true about your communication style. And then step 3, use that and put it in your system prompt for future content. Paste it in every time you use AI to draft something, and the difference between the 2 boxes on the right will tell you exactly what it is. Without voice training, it's generic, smooth, could be anyone. With it, it's specific. It sounds like you. And then finally, do both. Do the celebrity cocktail and do the transcript analysis, and merge them together in one document, and it's like your perfect voice profile. It should take you no more than 15 minutes to do it. Do it once, use it forever. This is a system in practice. I'd like you to try this when you go away today. Once you've got your voice nailed down, here's how the system works end to end. So step 1, the interview. 30 minutes, just grab somebody in the agency, like who's the most interesting person there? What's the problems that they're solving? If it's you, go find one of the tech partners. They want to know more about your agencies and get them to interview you, and then voice note record the entire thing. Step 2, paste it into Claude, ask it for the different angles, the 10 blog posts, the Contrarian POVs, LinkedIn posts, emails, etc., and then include your voice prompt. And then finally, the human edit. So kill it. If you wouldn't say it in a pub, if you'd be embarrassed to say it out loud, get rid of it or fix it. And then, this is what one interview can do. So one interview can generate videos, 4 short-form videos, teaser trailers, long-form content, which then turns into blog posts, LinkedIn posts, carousels, audiograms turn into podcast snippets, etc. And then we take all of that and then drop it into a content repository. Once a quarter, you can get AI to analyze the entire thing and then create gated content off the back of that. It also creates nurture flows. If you don't know what a nurture flow is, go see somebody at Klaviyo or Brendan, and they'll build one for you. But the idea here is that you then have enough content to show up consistently, automatically, and that's relevant, and so you can then become like the most obvious choice when people are starting to look for new agencies. So this is what I'd like you to commit to, and I'll give you my email afterwards. You can follow up and you can tell me whether or not you've done it. But I'd like you to figure out how you're going to capture those messy inputs. So we said interviews, it doesn't have to be interviews. One of my clients has set up a Slack channel, which is like anonymous bitching, basically. So people can just put in there everything that's pissing them off about a client, everything that like clients just don't understand. Gather all of that information. Then figure out what does your content sound like. So do those, the celebrity cocktail and the transcript. And then figure out how often are you going to publish. Don't pick, oh, we're going to do 15 posts a day. Like, find something that's actually realistic that you want to do. It's so much better to do, you know, a post once a week for 5 weeks on a trot than do 5 posts and then go quiet for the next 4 weeks. So that's it. Be the obvious choice. That's the goal here. So go and make messy, opinionated content. There's some QR codes. I can't remember where they go, so good luck scanning those. It's probably LinkedIn. One of them's the website. But yeah, I'm going to be on a roundtable later. If you have any questions, come and find me. And also, I'm doing this in real time. We have a note taker here, so we're recording all these talks. I'm going to turn it into loads of content afterwards. But thank you very much.